Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad, and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the DC Universe Daily. James Gunn continues to refuse to clarify the Henry Cavill Superman situation. Henry Cavill claims he's back. Some Warner Brothers and DC accounts, official ones, also congratulate Henry Cavill as returning as Superman. But things are beginning to get really confusing now, because the other day, Humberto Gonzalez of The Wrap claims there's no Superman movie in development. Henry doesn't even have a contract. What's going on? And yesterday on Twitter, James Gunn had the perfect opportunity to clarify the Henry Cavill Superman situation, because he called out Mickey Sutton of Geekosity for being a liar. Mickey shared an article on Twitter earlier that day claiming that Henry Cavill does have a contract that covers television and film. And James Gunn called him out rightfully for being a liar. This was the perfect opportunity to give some context to the Henry Cavill situation. Only days before, as I say, Humberto Gonzalez had a huge article claiming Henry doesn't even have a contract. So without a contract, Henry's going around boasting about being back as Superman, what kind of Superman movie he wants, what kind of tone and direction he wants it to be in. It doesn't make sense. And yesterday, right, when James Gunn was calling, a scooper a liar, it was a great opportunity to say, because this is what he said to Mickey Sutton. You're either lying or you're being lied to, right? Well done, calling out a liar. Ultimately, Mickey Sutton couldn't give a shit. In fact, he probably got a boner over you quote tweeting him and calling him a liar, because you're giving his platform free advertisement, because even though you've called him out as a liar, some idiots won't see him as a liar. He has his supporters. But the point is here, James, when you called someone out a liar for lying about, Henry Cavill's non-existent contract, allegedly, right, you had the opportunity to say, right, Henry is negotiating a contract. I don't know if he is or not. And Henry is back as Superman. We can't say much about it right now, but we're very excited about Henry being back as Superman. Not once has James Gunn uttered the name Henry Cavill on social media. He keeps on teasing stuff and confusing fans. We had the whole Lobo thing, and then Jason Momoa teasing he could be playing Lobo, and fans coming to me and other people on social media, right? I get DMs every day. Mick, what's going on? How can Jason Momoa play Lobo and Aquaman? Do you see what you're doing? You're confusing fans, and it isn't good for this new franchise. You're literally causing more confusion than clarity. You called out someone for lying about Henry Cavill's contract. You could have easily said alongside that quote tweet, we love Henry, we're happy he's back as Superman, or he's not back as Superman, or whatever. Clarification, 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 which we're getting none of. So I understand he can't tell us the slate. He can't talk about, a plan they're still developing. I get all of that. But the Henry Cavill situation, clarifying that, how does that hurt anything? What's the whole secret squirrel thing about? He started a brand new social media platform the other day. We spoke about it yesterday, where he was teasing Kingdom Come, which would be awesome if they're doing Kingdom Come. Who knows if they are doing Kingdom Come? Tease after tease after tease after tease. If anyone asks him, James, are you doing A, B, or C? Well, don't ask me. It's early days yet. But it's not early days for you to, start teasing fans. That's my point. How is it early days to clarify anything to the fans? The number one thing you need from your fans and consumer is for them not to be confused. And you are confusing them, James. And you're making the situation worse and worse. Tease after tease, no clarification. And yesterday was the perfect time when you called out Mickey Sutton for being a liar to actually praise Henry and say, we love Henry here at DC Studios. We're happy he's returning as Superman. We can't talk about it any further, but we love Henry and we're glad he's back. Not once has he bigged up Henry. He bigs up his Guardians actors. He bigs up this one. He loves that one. There was another situation yesterday which he and David Ayer gave a lot of clarity to. Well done for at least doing that. So yesterday, David Ayer was quote tweeting an Release the Aircut fan, and David basically said, listen, James Gunn is a great guy, and although I don't see anything happening tomorrow, I believe there is a good chance of something happening with the Aircut in the future. So, and he kind of clarified that he and James have been talking about this. So this is very good news. We've got clarification. So did you see that when you clarify something to fans, like, we're talking about it, it's not happening now, it's not happening tomorrow, but who knows in the future? Ultimately, I don't even think if the Aircut gets released or not, that it's a James Gunn or Peter Safran decision. I think that's a Zaslav decision, because Zaslav is the one who ultimately makes the decisions. They have to report back to him. They're not allowed to do whatever the fuck they want. They can come up with things, but they have to make sure he's happy with it. He's certainly someone who's got his fingers on the chicken switch. So there's that. And this is how you clarify things, how you untie the knot. So now people know that James is open to releasing the Aircut, but nothing's going to happen in the near distant future, and that's okay. He's focusing on the MCU. He's still under contract. He's promoting the Guardians Holiday Special. Guardians 3 comes out next May. I get it, but he's the one in the middle of doing all of this. He's teasing DC content, but no clarity anywhere. And yes, I do like repeating myself, as I say, because it makes my position clear. I don't care that James Gunn is a huge, elite, famous writer-director. A writer-director I respect. He knows I respect him. But that's not the point. He's never mentioned Henry Cavill. He's never given any, compliments to Henry Cavill. He's never come out and said since that post-credit scene, we love Henry as Superman. He's a great Superman and we're glad he's back, but we can't say anything else about it. Here, that's easy, isn't it? It unravels the knot again, doesn't it? Like they did with the Aircut. But they refuse to do it. It's actually so confusing. And yesterday, calling out Mickey Sutton was the perfect opportunity to clarify Henry's Superman position. So why won't they do it? Have they changed their mind about Henry coming back, right? Henry said he's back as Superman. I still think they used him to amp up the box office for Black Adam because they knew the box office wasn't going to be huge. But obviously, if it was huge, then Henry Cavill probably would have been announced as being back as Superman by James Gunn by now. Even David Zaslav has never mentioned Henry Cavill directly. So it's all really, really confusing, isn't it? As I say, we need clarification now on so many things, but I can wait for the other stuff because the other stuff's in development and it's part of an ongoing plan. So I get all of that. But the teases are actually confusing people. It's also exciting, but they're confusing people as well. But okay, carry on. But having Henry Cavill talking about what type of Superman movie he wants, when we're finding out now, allegedly he doesn't even have a contract. What's going on? What right did Henry Cavill have to tease fans and get fans' hopes up about him being Superman again when he doesn't even, apparently, allegedly, even have a contract? It's the strangest situation I've ever come across. And James Gunn refuses to clarify the situation. So as I say, have they now decided that Henry Cavill won't be Superman in this new DC universe? Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me if they've seen that box office and said, well, he can't be that popular as Superman if he couldn't even, amp up the Black Adam box office. Of course, look, a few seconds of a post-credit scene, you can kind of understand that it doesn't give a big hit for Black Adam's box office. But then again, I can understand where they're coming from if they're starting to have these feelings, because the more you don't give clarification on this Henry Cavill situation, now we're finding out he doesn't seem to have a contract, the more people like Mickey Sutton of Geekosity are going to come out with their bullshit. You can call them out as liars as much as you want, but you give them the platform to do it when you don't give any clarity about it. We've got 4 movies coming out next year. The Flash movie was Walter Hamada, the previous DC film's president's plan to rewrite DCEU and give the franchise a new timeline. Now, that movie doesn't seem to have changed at all. Now, I know there's been rumours about reshoots for The Flash, but I don't think they've changed anything literally. I think it's all the same. It's all the same because that film no longer matters. So potentially you could still see a Flash movie that replaces Superman with Supergirl and Batfleck with Keaton's Batman. All that could happen, but in the DC universe, maybe, probably, that won't be a thing. Who knows? Because we don't have any clarification. We're here urinating in the wind because the people, the new leadership, although I'm making some tremendous decisions, I'm confident about Gunn's and Safran's plans. It's very exciting, but they are confusing fans. And yesterday was the perfect opportunity to clarify the Henry Cavill Superman situation, and James Gunn refused to. This has been the DC Universe Daily here on Movies TV Mad with me, Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss this beautiful perfection. And I'll see you again in the next video. Until I see you again, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen.